The Biden administration today issued one of the most significant climate regulations in the nation's history, a rule designed to ensure that the majority of new passenger cars and light trucks sold in the United States are all electric or hybrids by 2032. And lawyers for Governor Greg Abbott of Texas and the Biden administration were back in court today for the latest round in a bitter fight over immigration enforcement as a panel of three federal judges in New Orleans heard arguments over the state's migrant arrest law. And today, the Democratic Party that is becoming increasingly alarmed by the potential for third party candidates to swing the election to former President Donald Trump put together a new team of lawyers aimed at tracking the threat, especially in key battleground states. The efforts come as challengers, including the independent candidates Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Cornel West, plus groups like No Labels, as well as the Green Party, have ramped up their push to qualify for states' ballots ahead of critical deadlines in the spring and summer. And speaking of Robert F. Kennedy, the White House invited dozens of family members of Robert F. Kennedy for a visit to sit down with President Biden. And during that visit, the Kennedy family recommitted to supporting the president in his bid for reelection. This gathering of dozens of Kennedys at the White House, this happened just last week, marked the beginning of a more active effort by the family to boost Biden's reelection effort while pushing back against the efforts of their relative, Robert F. Kennedy. The Kennedy family say they are concerned that if Robert F. Kennedy is responsible for Donald Trump winning the election, it would spoil their decades long legacy. And Alabama Governor Kay Ivey today signed a bill making the state of Alabama the latest state to enact bans on diversity, equity, and inclusion in both public schools, colleges, and offices. Now, this SB 129 bill requires the DEI offices and initiatives funded by public colleges to be eliminated or vastly changed. And the bill also seeks to limit teachings around race, gender, identity, or what they call divisive concepts. And former president, that is, Donald Trump, indicated this week that he is likely to back a 15-week federal ban on abortion. Now, he said, with exceptions for rape, incest, and life-threatening emergencies. These comments, which Trump made yesterday on a radio show, are in line with previous reporting that he had privately expressed support for a 16-week ban, but saying it publicly ties him concretely to a position that has been toxic for many Republicans. And a key deadline for the $464 million civil fraud judgment against Trump and his co-defendants is fast approaching. And it appears that Donald Trump doesn't have the money to meet the deadline or to post a bond. Now, unless an appeals court intervenes or the former president can post that bond, which he has said 30 companies have turned him down for, if he doesn't come up with the money or a bond by Monday, New York Attorney General Letitia James can start collecting on the judgment she secured, and that includes seizing property and placing a lien on his bank accounts and other assets. Well, that's the news today, and this is Areva Martin in real time, and I'm your host, Areva Martin. This is your one-stop destination for today's trending news, expert analysis, and my unfiltered opinions. This is hour 2 of Areva Martin in real time, and this is the hour where we get to go a little deeper, dig behind the headlines, and bring you those stories and those personalities that people are talking about. And since it's Women's History Month, we are celebrating phenomenal women, and I couldn't be more delighted to be in conversation in this hour with none other than AKA Miss Robbie Montgomery. You all know her as a mother, as a grandmother, as a chef, as a best-selling author, as a multi-award-winning NAACP recipient. She also was the star of the uber popular show, Welcome to Sweetie Pies, on the OWN network. It was one of OWN's top-rated shows for over 5 seasons. She's also a real estate developer, a restaurateur. I know her as Auntie, and one other credit, or lots of other credits, but one that she I think is near and dear to her heart that she loves the most probably is her talent as a singer. Yes, Miss Robbie is a phenomenal singer, entertainer, and she is out with a new song called Boss Lady. And when you think of all the things that she has done, just the title of that song encapsulates everything that she is. Indeed, she is a boss as it relates to business, a boss as it relates to running a restaurant, a boss in the media industry, and yes, a boss in the field of entertainment. When we come forward, sit down, talk to Miss Robbie about what she has going on in her hometown, my hometown of St. Louis. She's got some incredible projects that she's working on. And we're also going to give you a sneak preview of this song that's doing incredibly well called Boss Lady. Show you some of the video, which is really incredibly well done. And I'm so excited for all the great stuff that she has and couldn't think of a better person to acknowledge and to celebrate on today as we start to wind down Women's History Month. So stay with us when we come forward more of KBLA Talk 1580 with Miss Robbie.
You're listening to Areva Martin in real time on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure they'll get you your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
Switch to Jackson Hewitt and we'll beat what you paid last year, even if you filed online. Ain't nothing to it. Switch to Jackson Hewitt and pay less for tax prep, guaranteed. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
If you're looking for the most epic place on earth, let's start at the base of a massive waterfall. Then trek through the thick jungle. Then climb to the peak of a snowy mountaintop. Then once you get there, keep going. Because with intelligent 4x4 and 7 drive modes and a Nissan Pathfinder, the search is the real adventure.
Available feature. Intelligent 4x4 cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
And in this hour, we are celebrating a phenomenal woman because, after all, it is Women's History Month. She is a mother, a grandmother, a chef, a best-selling author, a NAACP award-winning television personality and star of the uber popular show Welcome to Sweetie Pies, that was on OWN Network, one of its top rated shows for over 5 seasons. But she's also a real estate developer, a restaurateur, and a serial entrepreneur. And as if that wasn't enough to keep you busy pretty much throughout every day of the week, she is also a phenomenal singer and entertainer. And she's out with a new song called Boss Lady and a new video, which I'm just so happy to share with everyone. Welcome, Miss Robbie, aka Robbie Montgomery, aka Miss Robbie. I am so happy to be in
Thank
conversation.
you.
Uh, we
Thank
always come
you.
together and have conversations. Seems like when you have something incredible going on, like this new song, we're going to get to that. We got some video. We're going to show everyone some video. But let's just catch people up, because all that stuff I just said you're doing, you do that like from 9 to 12, and then you got a whole nother like life that you live, because you just know how to get a lot in. But tell us, what have you been doing since the
Well,
super popular show Welcome to Sweetie Pies went off the air?
well, I've been busy. I was running my restaurant after that. I sold that restaurant. So now I'm in the process. I thought I was going to retire, but then I realized that's not me. So now I'm going back to open another restaurant. I purchased a Family Dollar on Martin Luther King. You know where it is. It used to be called Easton. Well, when I was a little girl, Easton was like almost like the Black people downtown. It was nothing but business, and people lived upstairs over them. So after I purchased those two buildings, I purchased one for an event center and one for the restaurant. There was all this vacant land around. So I'm like, well, everybody's, trying to develop. Why don't I try and bring this neighborhood back? So that's what I'm trying to do, build more commercial. I've got a bunch of business friends of mine that I went and asked them if they would be interested in relocating, and they are real, they're interested. So I'm going to build them some commercial buildings and build affordable housing, not low income, but one step up. So affordable housing, and try and bring that whole area. So it's like 39 lots that I'm trying to bring back, and that's what makes me a developer now. And I always say to my fellow friends, you know how your neighborhood was when you were there, and you know how it looks now. It's nothing but slums. Why don't everybody go out, the people that can't afford to, and buy a block, so we can bring the city back to our people? Because what happens is we come in, and I don't want to use the word tear up, and then the white people come back and rebuild and take it back over. So if we go and rebuild ourselves and get our people back into our neighborhoods that we grew up with. So that's my goal there.
I'm thinking as you're saying that, what's running through my mind, I don't know if you've seen it, but Mike Epps, the comedian, he and his wife have a show on Home and Garden Television called Buy Back the Block. And he did the exact same thing you're talking about. He went back to some city in Indiana, I'm not sure which one, where he grew up, and his block was pretty dilapidated, a lot of vacant lots, a lot of homes that had been in disrepair for years. And he and his wife bought back the block with the goal, just like you talked about, of bringing the block back, restoring those old homes. His is a residential block. And then, I'm sure they're going to either sell them or lease them out. And one of the homes, I don't know if it was his home where he grew up, but it was a very big, like 2-3-story house. It's a really interesting show. And I was reading an article about it, but I love it. I love that he's doing it. I love that you are doing it. I was in St. Louis. I don't know.
Well, I wasn't aware of him doing it, but I think it's a wonderful thing, and I'm going to look into.
Yeah, that's a new show idea for you, is buying back the block. Since you did so well with your restaurant show, Welcome to Sweetie Pies.
Like
there is a whole. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I'm saying there's a whole. I think she went on. Did we lose your sound? I think we lost your sound. I think we lost her sound. We are going to try to get her sound back. While we do that, we will take a little break. And when we come forward, more with Miss Robbie right here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. There's a court hearing today for the Long Island Marine veteran accused in the chokehold death of a Black man on a New York City subway train. A judge recently rejected Daniel Penny's request to have his manslaughter charge thrown out in connection with the death of Jordan Neely last May. Penny will be back in court this week, but a trial in the case won't come until the fall at the earliest. Penny insists he restrained Neely because Neely was threatening passengers, but prosecutors say Penny went too far with the chokehold. The Washington State Patrol is paying nearly $1.5 million to settle a federal lawsuit. The suit, filed by 4 plaintiffs, alleges a state trooper targeted immigrants and Black people. The 4 say they were each arrested by Trooper Cameron Osmer and booked into jail on suspicion of impaired driving, but their blood tests showed no trace of drugs or alcohol in their systems. Internal WSB documents also show Osmer was responsible for several similar arrests. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Trouble in Mid-City continues as the left lane is still blocked with an accident on the 10 east at Arlington Avenue. Stop traffic continues from Lincoln Boulevard over 55 minutes. Drive carefully and expect heavy traffic flow that continues on the 405 South through West LA between Wilshire Boulevard and the 710 over an hour and a half. In Sherman Oaks, an accident's been reported blocking the right lane of the 405 South after Burbank Boulevard. Right now, traffic seems to be minor, but it could run heavy, so be advised.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Another honor for USC freshman Juju Watkins, and this one is big time. The Compton native was named first-team Associated Press All-American for women's college basketball. Watkins is the first USC player named first-team All-American since the award was started in 1995. Watkins joins Caitlin Clark of Iowa, Cameron Brink of Stanford, Paige Buchers of UConn, and Hannah Hidalgo of Notre Dame. Clark was a unanimous choice as Player of the Year. Watkins averaged 27 points, 7
That's fine.
Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You're listening to Areva Martin in real time on KBLA Talk 1580.
We are back. Women's History Month with Robbie Montgomery, aka Miss Robbie, aka my aunt, who I love. We were talking about St. Louis and what she's doing in that community, purchasing 39 lots to redevelop them for both commercial purposes, also for housing for a community that is in desperate need of housing. But talk to us about this restaurant. Now, a little birdie told me we're going to get another version of Sweetie Pies.
Yes, it's called Sweetie Pies Act Two. Well, the veterans bought me out. So actually, I didn't finish Act One. So I decided, at first, I thought I was going to retire, but that didn't work. People like, Miss Robbie, we want you back. We need you back. And so I decided I would come back, open up another restaurant. So we're going to call it Sweetie Pies Act Two. And it's going to be on the same scale, but a little more elaborate. I just want everybody to feel comfortable. I don't want you to have to feel like you got to dress up to come eat, but I want it to be a comfortable environment for my supporters and my clients that come into the restaurant and support me. So I want them to have a really, really great environment. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, like I was reborn again, So this is like I've never been in the restaurant. I should be trying to run home and sit down, but I'm not. I'm not a sit down person. My motto is don't wish for it, work for it. So so that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to just sit up and wish I had this. I'm going to get out and work for it. So I'm excited.
Talk to us about retirement. So many people at 50, at 60 say, oh my God, I've been working all my life. I just want to go and travel. I just want to, go hang out either at the golf course or the country club, the shopping mall, whatever. But you just said you thought about retiring, but said, nah, I'm going to go back to work. What is it that keeps you so motivated to keep working? You've accomplished so much. Monetarily, you earn so much, so much more than I'm sure maybe you even imagine as a young girl, definitely more than so many of your peers. But so what motivates you?
Well, I'm a people person. I love people. I love to be around people that are, and a lot of people say I inspire them. Well, I'm inspired by the people that come and say that to me. So in order to keep inspiring people, I got to be out there and keep doing things to show them that they can do it also. I mean, I'm 83. People always say you don't look like 83, but I feel like 83. So, and I am 83, but I still have the inspiration to get out there and do something. I don't care what it is. I just want to be busy at all times. And I enjoy mostly. I mean, that's the real reason I do enjoy.
So, okay, you're 83. I never ask a woman their age, but you put it out there. Well, so what do you think when you hear people saying Joe Biden, who's 82, or even Donald Trump, or, Maxine Waters is in her 80s, Nancy Pelosi she's in her 80s. What do you think? What goes through your mind when you hear people saying because these elected officials are in their 80s, they're too old, they should go sit down, they should retire?
Every time I hear that, I can't use the word that I say, but I'm like, I'm 83. That don't mean nothing. As long as you got your faculty and you still inspiring to do things. I mean, if your health is bad, that's different. But these people are out motivating. I mean, in motion, doing things every day. So why should you put a stigma on them being 83? You better hope you live to be 83, 82 and doing something, because a lot of people not even able to get around. So 83 is a wonderful age for me. I've never been there before. So this is something that I'm enjoying. I really enjoy being 83, especially when people say, you don't look 83. I'm like, well, I am. So, but it's an inspiration, and you can learn from older people because they have experienced.
Yes, in agreement. Definitely can learn a lot from older people, a lot of wisdom.
Yes, right. We've done a lot of things that you haven't done. I mean, we've seen so many presidents. We've seen so many things happen, come and go. We have been there. So we can tell you whether you believe us or not, but we can definitely tell you about some things that's happened in our lifetime. And as my mother...
really frustrated too when I hear that, because I know you and I watch you. I'm up close and personal. We talk all the time.
Yes.
So I know the energy and the drive that you have, and making deals, not like just, 83 going to Denny's for the Grand Slam.
Right. People like, well, people say, have you been a developer before? No, but what does it take? It takes an engineer, architect, designer, the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing that the other people do to build and develop. It's just a term that's used, develop. It don't mean I'm getting out there with a hammer and a nail, but I can. I'm not afraid to go up on a roof. So I can do, all that stuff. And I'm enjoying it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And what it really takes is vision and hard
Exactly.
work and grit, determination, and little money don't hurt. You got all of that.
That's right. Right. When I first started my dream, as I call it, I would tell people and they would say, "Ooh, I don't know nobody gonna do this, and ain't nobody." So I learned way back in the beginning of my journey after a singer that this was my dream. Nobody believed in it but me. So I have to get out there. That's why I say don't wish for it. Get out and work for it, because it's nobody's dream but yours, and it's your turn to make it work. However, and because you failed one time, it doesn't mean anything. Just move on and start something else, or keep working on it. Find out what you did wrong and redo it, or move on.
Yeah, no, I love your motto. I love your philosophy. When we come forward, got to ask you about how you got started, where you got this kind of grit and determination from, and definitely talk about your career as a singer. We got to play some of that incredible new song, Boss Lady. Stay with us, KBLA Talk 1580.
More of Areva Martin in real time when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The financially troubled St. Augustine's University announced that it has made the decision to hold all of its classes virtually. This as the HBCU is appealing the loss of its accreditation 3 weeks ago, and the IRS following days later with a nearly $8 million tax lien. The move to hold classes remotely immediately prompted demands from alumni groups for the entire Board of Trustees to resign. Members of the Washington, D.C. Council are criticizing Mayor Muriel Bowser for missing the submission deadline for the city's budget. Bowser, who is Black, was supposed to submit the budget to the council by today, but it cannot be introduced until it is certified by the Office of the Chief Financial Officer, or OCFO. A spokesperson says the 10-day certification process hasn't started because the budget hasn't been submitted to the OCFO. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and VINnews.com.
Get ready for heavy traffic in East LA as stop traffic from Soto Street is ahead as an accident is blocking 2 left lanes of the 10 East at City Terrace Drive, Herbert Avenue split. Back in Mid-City on the 10 East at La Brea Avenue, an accident is currently blocking the left lane, causing stop traffic from 20th Street over an hour and a half. If you're headed downtown on the 110 north of the 10 Washington Boulevard interchange, watch for a stall currently blocking the right lane, while stop traffic from MLK Jr. Boulevard is up to 25 minutes. And in Sherman Oaks, expect stop traffic from Sherman Way as an accident is blocking 3 right lanes of the 405 south before the 101.
All I need is one mic.
Reparations Now has been a rallying cry in this country and around the world for decades. But the demand has taken on new urgency with growing momentum on the issue led by the state of California, which has completed an extensive study and put forth recommendations to enact reparations. California's reparations actions have huge nationwide implications. The California Task Force was the first of its kind in the nation, and the states of New York and Colorado recently voted to take on the issue. Dozens of cities from coast to coast, including San Francisco, Boston, Los Angeles, and Detroit, have started their own reparations commissions. One of the first known reparationists was Callie House, who toured the nation advocating for reparations in the 1890s. But never in this nation's history has the movement to heal the harms of enslavement, institutionalized racism, and the system of white supremacy seemed so strong. The topic remains untouchable for most elected officials, and the call for reparations has not yet garnered widespread public support. Polling shows that most Californians agree that Black fellow citizens are still suffering from the damage done by slavery and Jim Crow, but they still do not support cash reparations. The California Legislative Black Caucus has introduced a package of proposals for bills that do not include 1 penny of cash compensation, restitution, or repair. Governor Newsom and other lawmakers have distanced themselves from the concept of cash payments. While Newsom is right, cash alone will not repair our collective harm, the state's goofy legislative package ignoring monetary payments is disingenuous. California lawmakers need to step up and put a reparations bill for cash payments on the table. The issue of how it is funded, the timeline, or whether it impacts our current budget challenges can be addressed. But we must strike while the iron is hot, or the window of opportunity will pass us by. If you agree that it's time for our lawmakers to add a bill enacting cash payments to their lineup, call them at 916-319-3868 and say, if it doesn't include cash, it ain't reparations. That's 916-319-3868. Tell them Callie House sent you. From Bruce's Beach to the California Task Force, the Golden State is a trailblazer when it comes to reparations. The world is watching. We must rise to the historical moment and set a precedent for cash payments, along with legislative remedies and policies addressing the systemic badges of slavery and Jim Crow. We must insist on measures significant enough to help close the racial wealth gap. California must stand for cash, and the time for reparations is now. For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Dominique DePrima. We welcome your comments.
We are back and we are celebrating phenomenal women during Women's History Month. And I am talking to one of the most phenomenal women that I know. Her name is Robbie Montgomery, aka Miss Robbie. You all know her from Welcome to Sweetie Pies. It was OWN's, one of its most popular shows for over 5 seasons. She is now, we can add to her title of the 10, 12 things that she was already doing. We can add the description of developer, because yes, she is developing a piece of land in the heart of St. Louis, but she is also a singer. So let's get into that. Tell us about how you got started in the world of entertainment.
Well, in the world of entertainment, I got started as well, not really as an ICAT, but we used to sing around the neighborhood. Back in the day, we had the doo-wop groups. I was in several of them. And one of the groups I was in was called the Ardettes. And Ike Turner was from St. Louis. It wasn't a teen at that time. So he asked us to put background on a song. And he had this young lady named Lil Ann. We called her Lil Ann at that time. And we went and put background on the song. And the song was A Fool in Love, and it became a hit. And so he offered us a job going out on the road with him and called us the Ikettes. So that's basically how I got started into the professional part of it. But I've been singing in school, talent shows, doo-wops around the city for many, many years. But that's how I got my first break as a professional singer. Went out on the road, stayed with them about 8 or 10 years, moved to California, got into the background clique. They were putting background on different artists, background on their songs, their records. And there was an opportunity to do that. So we were running in and out of studios all day long, providing background for Joe Cocker, everybody, that needed background. We would do that. So that's basically how I got started. But I've been singing so long. I tell everybody, singing is my first love and chicken is my second. So I later became in love with chicken. So, but that's how I started. I've always written songs. A few of them I recorded back in the days with Ike. Back in those days, you don't get the recognition. You just a background singer. And that's what I did because I needed a job. It wasn't very important to be out front. You just need to keep working. So after that, other acts would hire me as the background singer. I'd go on the road, go in the studio and record with them. And that's how I survived as a singer. So now that I'm older, and I can do what I want to do, which is in my song, Boss Lady. I like to put songs out there, inspiring songs. And this Boss Lady was a song that reminded me of my mother. So this is where I get my inspiration. But certain things I didn't want to do like my mom. My mom was a housewife, and she had 9 kids. I didn't want neither one of those. So she would sit at home. And so I looked at my mom and I'm like, well, she's a manager. She's a financial. She knew everything. The money that my father gave her to provide, feed us, she was able to do all that. All that was inspiring. But like I said, I did not want to be a mother of 9, and I didn't want to sit at home and not have my own money. So therefore, that's why I got my drive for always trying to make my own money, because as I, later in my life, I realized I can't spend your money like I can spend mine. If I spend your money, I got to explain to you what I did with your money. But my money, I can do what I want to do when I want to. So that's what.
Anyways, you were a feminist long before we used the term, long before we talked about women being independent and having their financial independence. What was that like, though, in the 60s and 70s when women were expected to be at home, be housewives, be subservient to their husbands, their partners, their mates. And here you are saying from a young age, you always knew you wanted to be independent, have your own money.
But I didn't know I was a feminist back then, but I knew I wanted my own money. I wanted to do anything that I want. I just wanted my own money. My mother was a beautiful lady. She had a husband. She was happy with that life, but that life would not make me happy. I had to have my own. And so I learned from my mom, because she was a strong woman. I know how to survive. I know how to take a chicken and you make it a dinner for 2 nights. But that wasn't that important to me. Just having my own life, being my own boss, just doing what I want to do. And I keep referring to that because that's in my song a lot.
Well, we got some video from that song, Robert. Why don't we pull it up? I think this is a perfect place for us to share with the audience a clip from this video, Boss Lady, and this new song that you just recorded, Boss Lady.
I love it.
Share with the audience.
Okay.
They say that it costs to be the boss. Well, I've paid my dues. Cried a many tears, but wouldn't let fear get the best of me. Yeah. I did what I had to do, some things I didn't want to. But look at me now. My eyes have seen so many things, this heart has felt it all. My hands have made me money, sometimes big, sometimes small. Too much can faze me. I'm living free. I do what I want to do, cause I'm the boss lady. You're looking crazy, cause I'm amazing. I do what I want to do, when I want to. I walk by faith in everything I do. What he did for me, he'll do for you. Some people love me, some people scorn me, some people hate me, some try to make me. Now even though I've been.
All right, man. First of all, I want to go back to the comment you said where everybody tells you you don't look 80. I don't know, what you had to do to prepare for that video, but you look amazing in that video. I mean, I'm not going to put an age on it. I'm just going to say you look amazing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
What was it like, shooting a video again at 83? You told us you're 83 years old.
Yes.
So shooting a song. I mean, again, when you started out in the business with Ike and Lil Ann, who's later Tina Turner, did you all make videos?
No, we didn't have videos. Not only do we not have videos, there's not a lot of photographs of us or things that were happening back in there. Every once in a while, somebody will come up with something out of the blue. And I'm like, I've never seen that before, because it wasn't accessible to us. We never had videos or things like that. So to be around in this time and age and be able to do it, I mean, I'm just excited about doing it. It's not that I'm really trying to be Beyonce, I wouldn't mind, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to stay relevant and doing what I want to do, what I like to do, and able to do it at this time. So it doesn't matter how well I sing or nothing. I'm just doing what I love to do. I'm enjoying my life. That's what it is.
Now, where can people find, where can they download the song? I know you told me the song is doing really well. I mean, it sounds great, look great. Where can people go to get it?
They can go to YouTube, all the social medias, it's on there. Apple Music, different places like all the genres, that you get
Everywhere
music
you
on.
find music, right?
Yes, you can go and
Everywhere.
play. And I want everybody to go and play it because remember, Miss Robbie trying to be the oldest person to get to the Grammys. Oldest female, I have to say that now because Bobby Rush has won several times. So now I'm trying to be the oldest female to get there.
Wow. Again, always setting goals, always striving for more, always, climbing, always reaching back, pulling other folks up as you climb. Let's talk about, like you said, of course, they didn't have videos when you were singing with Ike and Tina, but you look so natural in that video. I mean, is it natural for you to shoot a music video like that?
It's natural for me because I've been doing it so long and I kind of know what it takes to make a video. I mean, even though we didn't make it, I mean, at some time point in our lives as a singer, we've made videos. So, and it comes natural. This is something I love to do. Anything you like to do is no job. Just do it.
Now, who wrote this song? Because I know you said earlier on you are a songwriter yourself. Is this one of the songs you actually wrote?
Well, actually, a young lady approached me with the song Boss Lady, and she had written like a country version of it. She said, Miss Robbie, you inspire me. You a boss lady. She's the first one that said it. And so she wrote the whole song. But then after time went by, I mean, this song is an old song. And then I pulled it back up. I said, I'm gonna listen to the song. And I went and did the last, she did the first half and I did the last half about the Gucci and the champagne because I'm inspired by the things that's happening today. So I had to put some of that in there. These young people know about Gucci and Louis and champagne and stuff like that. So I added all of that in and then to my experience in life where people have talked about me, ridiculed me. And, back in the day when people say, I dare you to do this, and you say, make me. So I put that in there. Some tried to make me, but these are things that I know as being 83 that happened in my childhood where people have, just did things and, it don't stop you. It's just experience in life. People going to talk about you and they're going to like you and some are not. So I put that in there and we just came up with that song and it ended up being pretty good. The story itself is a true thing, true story.
A true story. Okay.
Yes.
So you own several businesses. You're, branching out into development where you're going to actually own, commercial real estate. You're going to own housing. What are some of the biggest obstacles that you have faced? Because we always hear females, in particular women entrepreneurs, talk about all the obstacles they face in trying to either start a business or grow a business. What are some of the obstacles that you
Areva, I've come up against so many obstacles. First thing, a bank giving me a loan. When I first started, I had to scrape my pennies, buy a pot, put it on the stove, or, buy a spoon, put all these things. Nobody would even give me a loan. And even though I've been in business over 30 some years, I still face that problem because being a Black female and in the restaurant business, that's one of the businesses that nobody believes in but you. The banks don't believe that the restaurant could be successful. Maybe a chain restaurant, but like an independent like me, they don't really want to do that. But every day somebody confronts me about their ideas and how they're having a hard time. Like today, a young lady approached me. She wants to start a business for expecting mothers. She wants a house for it. She called me, asked me how to do it. I don't know how to do it, but I'm not going to discourage her. I gave her some things like, well, the first thing you need the house. So she have any of those things, but I wanted to inspire her to lead her in a direction where she can maybe get those things. And I gave her the little information that I know. But in my lifetime, if I don't know it, I got somebody I'll go to and ask. If I want to get a blue balloon on the moon, I got a consultant that I'll say, can you help me get that balloon? I'm not afraid to ask. So you have to just dig and just don't give up. That's the key. Don't give up.
So, okay, let me ask you. So you mentioned bank loans, and we hear that all the time with small business, particularly like you said, Black women. So when you would hear no, and I assume today everybody doesn't say yes to Miss Robbie, you still hear no.
How do you hear no?
How do you not? Because you said don't get discouraged, but a lot of people feel like, oh my God, they get down on themselves. They start doubting themselves, start saying, I'm not good enough. This thing we call imposter syndrome now, where a lot of women feel like they don't have what it takes. They're not good enough to be in certain environments or to be in certain rooms, say with even people like you. Like, somebody may feel like I'm not good enough to be in a room with Miss Robbie because she is so successful. Think about that. When we come forward, Miss Robbie's going to tell us her secret to overcoming obstacles. Stay with us, KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Areva Martin in real time on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
With your Los Angeles Public Library card, you can access the latest music, movies, audiobooks, ebooks, graphic novels, and more, all for free. Check it out at lapl.org/emedia. That's lapl.org/emedia.
LADWP is proud to partner with KBLA to share with you how to start the new year without bill worries. We're here to help if you're behind on your bill or need help staying current. Sign up anytime online for Level Pay to set predictable monthly payments throughout the year, including for past due amounts. You can also check out the special extended pay arrangements of up to 48 months to help pay down your bill. If you're a senior or income qualified, you may be eligible for Easy Save to receive discounts and also qualify for free and discounted energy and water saving devices. You can get up to $15,000 for past due water and or sewer bills and up to $3,000 for electric bills. But you got to act fast. Funding is limited. You can reduce your past due bills and kick off the year right, because here at LADWP, we're here to help. Visit ladwp.com/cares today and find out more.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way Black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like your style, though.
We are back and we're celebrating phenomenal women during Women's History Month. And I am talking to one of the most phenomenal women, Robbie Montgomery, aka Miss Robbie from the uber popular show Welcome to Sweetie Pie. She has a lot going on, including a new song. She's now a developer. In addition to all of the other titles that she holds, she has a big project she's developing in the heart of St. Louis. She's going to be reopening Sweetie Pack. This time is Sweetie Pies Act 2. She's also opening an event space. She's doing some affordable housing. She's doing commercial real estate. She is doing it all, but like everybody else, she's still human and she faces obstacles. And we're really talking about, those women that may be out there, discouraged, thinking that their dreams cannot become a reality. They've tried, they couldn't get the bank loan. Their partners betrayed them. People they thought who were with them, they found out were actually trying to stab them in the back, or who were undermining their dreams. How do you push past those obstacles? How do you, make yourself keep getting up every morning, putting one foot in front of the other, and just keep fighting for your dreams?
Well, like you said, I'm human and I face all those same obstacles that everybody else does. I mean, when somebody tells you no, I mean, it hurts. It really hurts. It knocks you down. It just tears you apart. Then you start saying, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? Well, me, I'll tuck my tail for a minute and then I'll regroup and just take another route. So if they tell me no, I just keep going, because there's that one person that's going to believe in you or believe in your idea that will give you that opportunity. But the key to it is to keep going, because if you give up the first time, then you don't stand a chance. But my thing is, if you wake up the next day, you got a chance. And I mean, I've been hurt so many times by people, friends I believed in, that have beat me out of money and stuff like that. And then I just keep going because it's devastating. But you got to keep going because you are pursuing your dream. And then you can look back and say, nah, 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 nah. You know, you didn't stop me. You blocked me, but you didn't stop me. You put up, yeah, you know, my stumbling block became my stepping stone. So I love being able to do that. I mean, I take those whoopings with a Timex. I keep on ticking though.
Well, you said your first love was music and your second love was chicken. So as you think about just the arc of your life, you know, all the things that you've been so blessed to accomplish, all the things that you've done that, again, most people can't even dream of, multiple NAACP Image Awards, recognition by your governor, your mayor, you know, you got a presidential award. So you've gotten, you know, you've just gone places where so many people never go. What do you want your legacy to be, though? When you think about your life, what do you want people to remember you most by?
Well, you know, what I want people to remember me most by is that I gave them a chance. I was willing to listen, and I'm open-hearted, and I believed in their dream also as if they believed in mine. I gave a chance to anybody that wanted one, and that I was able to give one.
Well, that's incredible. And I know through your restaurants and your businesses, you have hired a lot of people who have been incarcerated, people who have been, you know, involved in the criminal justice system. Why do you do that? Some people would say, no, you know, check the box, I'm not going to hire you.
I do it because I remember when people told me no, and it hurt. And when somebody's been incarcerated, they've already been down. So they're just looking for that one break. Some of them need to be, I've met people have come to me that one day from going back to jail. If I don't get a job today, I'm going back to jail. I mean, I give them the chance, because if you get in there and prove that you can work, I need you. I need you just as much as you need me. So I'm always willing and able to give somebody a chance, because I remember when they didn't believe in me. So that's my thing.
Any regrets of all the stuff that you've done, all the places you've lived, you know, all the experiences that you've had, any regrets about anything?
The regret that I really have is I wish I had done it sooner. So I would have all those obstacles out the way, and maybe I would be on the beach in Miami by now. But I'm still chasing. I'm still struggling, because in my own mouth, I haven't reached that plateau that I want to go. Not that I'm trying to get up there, but I'm just happy doing things every day. If I look up, if I write a book, that's another accomplishment to me. And I did write a cookbook. So, I mean, there's just so many things in this life. I can't run the list off, because every day brings about a change. Tomorrow, I might wake up and want to fly an airplane. I doubt it. I doubt it.
All right. You mentioned the word list, bucket list. Anything on that bucket list that you haven't done?
Not really. Not really. I mean, it's a couple of things, but they're not even worth mentioning, you know, because they are not big things. But most of the things in my life I've done, and I've enjoyed them, and just looking forward to new things to do in my life. I mean, every day you wake up, there's something different happening in the world. So tomorrow I might wake up and come visit you. So you never know.
you just going with the flow. Okay,
just going with the flow. Yes.
You are a developer, you're a singer, a songwriter, you're a producer, you know, you're opening this restaurant. You said you've written books. What do you do for fun? Like what is your thing that makes you, like, not work, not, you know, building something, not, you know, pursuing anything that has economic value, but like, what just, you know, makes you, what do you do when you just want to have a good time?
I go to concerts, I roller skate, I go to slides
You
once a
roller
week.
skate. So people gonna
I
be saying, you
roller skate.
83 years old and you roller skate?
I roller skate. I haven't roller skated in maybe a year because I was filming. I broke my arm roller skating, and they kind of put a halt to that until I finished. But I roller skate. That I love roller skate. It's a different world when you're out there skating around that rink. You go into your other person. My other Robbie comes out. I think I'm a ballerina or something. I love roller skating. And on Tuesdays, I go and do the slides and stepping. And if it's a good concert that comes to town, I go to all kinds of things, fundraisers. I'm always getting some type of award. I love to dress. I love to shop. I mean, I have to hold up on that shopping because I lose my mind. I'm a shopaholic, and I tell everybody I'm a shopaholic that don't want no help. I'll just cure myself. So I enjoy my life. I enjoy it.
That is so good to hear again. Just showing folks why at 83, stop saying people should go sit down and like knit or you know, I don't know. People at
Right.
83
I don't have glasses and I don't have a cane. So I'm gone. I'm gone.
Well, you are living life to the fullest and you are a role model for all of us. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I can't wait till that restaurant opens, see that development of Eastern Boulevard. Now, Dr. Martin Luther King, I will be home soon. Can't wait to see you, give you a big hug and a kiss.
Love
you to death. And thank you for joining me in this hour. We are out of time. Next voice that you hear.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. God bless you.
Absolutely. Right here.